What do Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, and the most reliable off-road vehicle in human history have in common? No, this isn't a joke. If not for the Cold War and the ambitions of the planet's two leading communist leaders, the Toyota Land Cruiser simply would never have come into existence. Today, we will trace a journey spanning 70 years. One of the steps in the creation of the Toyota Land Cruiser was the directive issued to Japanese companies to develop their own lightweight four-wheel drive vehicle. While Nissan and Mitsubishi took the easy route by licensing or cloning the American Willys Jeep, Toyota chose to build theirs from scratch. But there was a catch. They didn't have a passenger car engine powerful enough. Their solution? They slapped a massive 3.4-liter six-cylinder truck engine onto a rugged chassis. The result was the grandfather of the Bloodline, the Toyota Jeep BJ. It packed so much low-end torque that it didn't even need a low-range transfer case. To prove its unmatched capability, a Toyota test driver performed the unthinkable. He drove the BJ up Japan's sacred Mount Fuji, reaching the 6th station, well beyond where any actual road ended. A year into production, the Americans, who owned the Jeep trademark, demanded that Toyota change the name. Enter Hanji Umehara, Toyota's technical director. He christened the vehicle the Land Cruiser. It wasn't just a name, it was a direct, bold challenge to Land Rover, who was dominating the global markets at the time. By 1955, knowing that global exports were the only way to revive Japan's war-torn economy, Toyota rolled out a civilian-focused successor, the 20 Series J20. This machine brought sleek styling, softer leaf springs for a more forgiving ride, and the newly developed F-Series engine. This marked a historic milestone, as the Land Cruiser became the very first Toyota model to be manufactured outside of Japan, rolling off production lines in Brazil under the local name Bandeirante. In 1960, Toyota unleashed the legendary 40 Series, J40. This truck would become a global monument to unkillable reliability, so much so that production in Brazil didn't stop until 2002. Unlike its predecessor, the J40 finally featured a proper low-range transfer case, elevating its off-road prowess to legendary heights. A brilliant piece of engineering lay inside the cabin. The J40's dashboard was perfectly symmetrical. This allowed Toyota to cheapen production for both left and right-hand drive markets. In fact, if you had the tools, you could convert the steering setup to the other side right in your own garage. Sales skyrocketed. By 1965, the 50,000th Land Cruiser rolled off the line. By 1973, that number hit 300,000. The Land Cruiser was now Toyota's ultimate export weapon, and when they finally introduced an efficient diesel engine in 1974, the Cruiser finally conquered its home market in Japan, where it had previously been heavily taxed as a commercial vehicle. By the late 1960s, the global market began demanding more civilized, family-oriented 4x4s. This sparked a permanent split in the Land Cruiser family tree. The first true, comfortable 5-door wagon was the J50. It introduced a modern plastic dashboard, a radio, seatbelts, and even air conditioning. Crucially, the J50 was the first Toyota off-roader to pass the brutal US mandatory 50 km per hour crash test. When the 1970s energy crisis hit, it played right into Toyota's hands. American buyers eagerly dumped their gas-guzzling domestic V8S for Toyota's more efficient straight sixes. In 1980, the baton was passed to the J60 series. It was designed from the ground up as a plush family highway cruiser, yet it stayed true to its roots with solid axles, locking differentials, and a ferocious appetite for the rough stuff. While the family wagons were getting luxurious, the old utilitarian J40 needed a proper successor. That answer came in 1984 with the 70 series. This machine was engineered so flawlessly that it is still in production today. Its indestructible design made the J70 a legend across Africa, the go-to vehicle for United Nations peacekeeping missions, and the backbone of militaries worldwide. However, to capture the everyday lifestyle buyer, Toyota created a lighter, more agile civilian version on the same platform, the Land Cruiser 2. Following a major refresh in 1990, it finally earned its own dedicated, iconic badge, the Prado. In 1990, Toyota revolutionized the SUV market yet again with the debut of the Land Cruiser 80. This model marked a massive shift from roughing it in the wilderness to living in the lap of luxury. The 80 series brought full-time four-wheel drive, ABS, airbags, and a premium leather-wrapped cabin. In post-Soviet Eastern Europe and emerging global markets of the early 90s, the Land Cruiser 80 achieved instant cult status. It was the ultimate status symbol. Its bulletproof durability, combined with an imposing, muscular road presence, made it an overnight synonym for power, wealth, and success. To counter the massive success of its biggest rival at the time, the Mitsubishi Pajero, Toyota launched the Prado 90 series. The game changer here was the introduction of independent front suspension. It kept its tough-as-nails, body-on-frame construction, but now handled like a luxury executive sedan on tarmac. In 1998, Toyota applied this exact formula to its flagship, creating the Land Cruiser 100. The 100 series gained a smooth, muscular V8 and independent front suspension, offering an unbelievably plush ride. But Toyota didn't forget the hardcore purists. For off-road diehards, they simultaneously built the 105 series, which wore the body of the modern 100, but rode on the heavy-duty, solid-axle chassis of the older 80 series. Launched in 2007, the Land Cruiser 200 fully cemented the badge's status as a premium, heavy-duty overland icon. Armed with 4-zone climate control, a massive frame adapted from the full-size Tundra pickup, and cutting-edge electronic terrain management systems, it became the undisputed king of both the highway and the deep wilderness. By this point, the only real limit to its off-road capability was the owner's fear of scratching the expensive paintwork. Today, the automotive world continues to watch the evolution of this icon with the next generation of cruisers. While modern iterations swap out the heavy V8S for twin-turbocharged V6S and hybrid power plants, they remain completely loyal to the original ethos, a genuine, body-on-frame, indestructible force of nature. Over the span of 7 decades, the name Land Cruiser has become an international synonym for absolute reliability, incredible resale value, and a badge that commands total respect on any road, no matter what brand of car you normally drive. That's all from us today. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one.